change when she's mine. It's like she don't want love, she just can't accept love, cause I'm having with love. That's keeping her from love, maybe an ex-lover, or could be a father. I don't know, all I can tell how she relates to me. But I would give all of my heart if she would just believe. She don't know love, oh, I love you. And she don't know love is right here, oh. She don't know love, oh, I love you. Love is far away from the pain that I see in her eyes. But all of that will change when she's mine.
Good morning. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, universe. Good morning, good morning, and good morning. Welcome to my little channel, Organized Chaos, where I do whatever I feel like doing. I want to fix this. I don't like it when that top part shows. That's a little bit better. Anyway, good morning, everyone. I hope everybody's having a good day. If you are here with me live, or if you are on the replay, or if you are a future version of myself and you just stumble upon this YouTube channel, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. All right, so I never know when I'm going to go live at this point in my life because life just be lifing for me. And definitely not during the weekdays. Weekends, it just really depends on what I have to do and or how much rest I need, because the way that my work situationship is set up now, it is very, 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 it's just very. But I love it. Like, I love it. And so, yeah, that's it. I wanted to share like a few things that are going on with me. Good morning, beautiful Shalom. Good morning. How are you? I see you are back. I think you had a birthday. Happy birthday. I saw you with your made up face. I haven't finished watching it. I get to watch like 10, 15 minutes at a time. So I did see you talking about your family and the nieces are living with you. That is such a blessing. Amen. I am so glad they are safe. So glad they are safe. God bless you, because I could not imagine. Listen, sis, I can't imagine having 4 of them in my house at one time. Girl. Oh, they were just visiting? Girl. Even with that, not no God. Not at one time. Child. Girl, I know they did. I know they did. I still got 2 that are over 8, that are 18 and over now, and they still tearing my house up. Child. Oh my goodness. Lord have mercy. God bless you. I hope they are safe. I hope they will continue to be safe. I didn't make it to the end of that video. I want to, but the way life be life, and it just is what it ain't at this point in life. All right, so let me give you a few little life updates with me. I'm going to show you guys something. I have it on my list as number 4, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. So I have this thing that I have to wear now for 29 days. It is a Rhythm Star heart monitor. So I don't know if I shared this on YouTube. I had a few fainting spells. With as I approached the big age of 50 and right after I turned 50, I had some fainting spells. And so my primary care physician sent me to, thank you, beautiful. I appreciate it. I think I'm okay. I'll tell you the story. Let me tell you the story. So my primary care physician she told me to start drinking Gatorade. She told me not to get dehydrated. I have really low blood pressure. Like, it's been low my whole life. So low that every time they take my blood pressure, they're like, "Are you lightheaded? Are you?" I'm like, "Nope." And so now, like, I've learned before they even take my blood pressure, I'm just like, it's going to be low. That's my normal. I guess I just don't stress out about stuff. So it's going to be low. So she told me, basically, she even asked me if I, like, do you eat salt? And I'm like, yeah, I have to season food. Like, I could add more salt when usually you're told not to add salt. They're telling me you could add more salt. Literally. The doctor that I just went to, he was like, if you want to have some bacon, some salty this, at least once or twice a week, I would suggest that. And I'm a heart doctor. And I'm like, what? He was like, you're very healthy. So because of those fainting spells, though, she sent me to the doctor. She sent me to have an echocardiogram. When I had the echocardiogram, they have something called ventricular something. It was so complicated. I didn't save it in my memory bank because I don't really want to focus on that big complicated word. She told me to make an appointment to have the echo. After the echo, they told me to go see the cardiologist. I went to the cardiologist. The cardiologist read the echocardiogram, and he was like, "You're fine." They looked at my weight. They looked at my age. They looked at all of the things, and he was like, "I think you're fine. Like, of all the heart patients that I see, I can't believe that you're here sitting in front of me, because usually by the time I get to see a heart patient, they don't work out." He was like, "You work out. They aren't eating right." He was like, "You eat right." And I was like, yeah. So, but then he looked at my EKG. So he saw some things on the EKG that could be something. He doesn't think that there's something, but they could be. And because they could be, he wants to just make sure that he's dotting his I's and crossing his T's. And I appreciate that. So now I am stuck with this little pager looking thing and I have leads. I have a lead here, and here placed on me that I have to keep placed on me for this is day 2. So for the next 27 days. So, and I slept in it last night, and child, the thing came apart. I was like, okay, maybe that's why they make you wear it for so long, because they know you're not going to do it right. So I feel like my first day is a wash, because I don't think it was even plugged in as I slept last night. So today is my off day from working out. So And then, one of the things that I learned, so like this thing here where it says monitoring, if like, so I've had those fainting spells that started happening. So if I feel that coming on, I'm supposed to press and hold that button. When that happens, I guess it does. I don't know. We'll find out in 29 days. And I will probably be back in front of you before those 29 days. So I just wanted to share that. So that's my first little life update. And then I was being a smart alecky because I was like, I don't know who told Aaliyah's young self that age ain't nothing but a number. But baby, age is more than just a number. Because as you age, things start falling apart. This avatar that we are given when we come into the universe, it does whatever it's going to do and it starts breaking down. It actually has started breaking down the minute that you were born, but you can feel it more the older you get. I have a right knee pain. I'm starting to get a left knee pain. I've already had a right foot surgery for some arthritis. Like, just the things are happening. So, Aaliyah, rest in peace. Age is more than just a number, boo. Yes, he is a good doctor. So I appreciated that. Good morning, Foxy. Hey, boo. Good morning, baby. Are you at work or are you off today? If you off today, if you want to roll with me and hang out, I don't know what you and your husband got planned. If y'all got something planned, then that's fine. But if you want to roll with me today, I want to be out in the streets because it's hot. It's hot here in the D, y'all. So if you want to roll with me, Foxy, you can roll with me after I get off this live because I got some things to do. And I want to share with y'all. Look at my new mug. One of my colleagues at work got me this mug. It says classy, sassy, and a bit smart assy. Oh, it's so me. She had one at work and I was jealous. I was like, I want one. And she immediately ordered me one in my very favorite color, red. So I had to show it to y'all today. I love this mug. I have 3 of them now. I only will use this one for the past week, ever since I got it. You already know I make my little homemade version of Starbucks medicine ball. All right. So that's first life update. Second life update. Yesterday I had an interview for I don't know if you guys know how much education I have. I have a lot. I got a lot of degrees. So I'm about to clear out, I'm about to connect 2 life things. So the federal government had a program called Public Service Loan Forgiveness. I applied for it. As long as you worked in the public sector, all of your loans, I learned this too, that on my mom's side of the family, I'm a first generation college graduate. On my dad's side of the family, I didn't know until maybe a week or so ago, my grandmother actually did have a degree, and she was a teacher. So that must be like where I got this part of me from. I just didn't know. So the public service loan forgiveness, I have a bachelor's degree, I have 2 master's degree, and I started my doctorate degree, but I just didn't finish the dissertation. So I am ABD for my doctorate degree, all but dissertation. So in order to go to college, I took out a lot of student loans. I basically lived off of student loans for an extremely long time. So much so that I never thought I was going to pay those student loans back. Like, I was just resonated that I was going to have them until I didn't exist anymore, until this public service loan forgiveness program came out. And because I ended up going into education, I qualified, because education wasn't my first career. I qualified for the program, y'all. You had to make 120 payments before October 31st, 2021 to be forgiven. Y'all, I've been forgiven. I don't owe any more money to the federal government. I basically got a free education. I basically got a whole bunch of degrees for free. Child. This part of life is where I am crystal clear All of the plans that you make for yourself, all of the things that you think you want to do. I was owning a dance studio. I thought I was going to own that dance studio until the universe kept moving me and changing things and closing me down. And it was frustrating. And I went back to school. My second master's is in education. That's what sent me back to school. During the recession in 2007, 2008, I went back to school because I knew my dance studio was about to close down. What am I going to do, girl? What you going to do, girl? I went and got my master's in education. That's what sent me on this career path, getting that degree in education. And because of that, all of my loans were forgiven. Y'all, y'all, that was not my plan. I had nothing to do with that. I listened to the universe. I listened to God. Even this position that I'm in now, I had no desire to do what I'm doing today. None. It was not on my radar. I was trying to do a bunch of other stuff. And God showed me, he gave me clear vision, apply for that job. And I was like, I don't want to do that. That's just not what I want to do. Do it. Apply. I applied and I got the job. And y'all, I absolutely love, like, I can't explain to you how challenging my job is, but how much I love doing this job. I love it. Um, and I just feel like I have sprouted armor wings and I am just flying right now. I am not everybody's best friend at work, but I'm okay with that. I have to make really difficult decisions. I have to have very difficult conversations, but I love it. I am learning to listen to adults. I never cared about what adults thought. I would close my classroom door and focus on my babies in my classroom. I am learning to be present for adult learners, y'all. And it's hard. It's some really hard, mindful work. And all of the things that I had to do to get here, all of these books that I've been reading with y'all, helped prepare me for what I am doing. That's why I keep coming on here. I don't care if it's just me on here. I don't care if it's one or two people who are tuned in. I am going to keep doing this. It's not the most exciting YouTube channel, but it feeds my soul. It feeds my humanity. It feeds my consciousness. And if it only does that for one or two other people, I'm cool with that. Like it, y'all. Okay, wait, I gotta read the comments because it's a lot. Okay, taking mom to a tea party at 2. I got my toes done already. I don't need my toes done. Well, girl, I'm leaving out of here. As soon as I get off of here, I'm out the door. So you let me know. You let me know where you at in the universe, Foxy. So that's what I'm about to tell you about. I'm about to tell you about this. So hold that thought, beautiful, that I need to better go ahead and finish this. That's what I'm about to tell you. That's my life update number 2. Girl, girl. Yes, God is good all the time. God is so good. Yep. That is where I'm learning to not plan ahead. Like I plan. That is what, like, this Eckhart book series that I've been doing, that is called living in the now. Living in the now means accepting what is. Whether you are comfortable in it or uncomfortable, it is. That is the I am that I am. This is where I'm at. It doesn't mean that you don't have future goals. It doesn't mean that you don't have your own thoughts. It just means that as you move from each now moment, you have a clearer vision of what now means, and you don't let your future version of what you think should be get in the way of what is actually the lived reality. And that's hard. Like, that's some hard work that I'm still like, it's work that you have to consciously do every single day. And everybody ain't there. Like, girl, I work with whole grown-ups. Like, they ain't there. It's just not. Yep. The plans are to prosper you, not to harm you. I never in a million years thought I would pay that money back or that it would not be on my plate until I entered the grave. And it's gone. Like it's gone. And it's gone so much that they gave me money back, y'all. Foxy, if you still here, I get to give my brother back all his money today. Okay. Okay. Anyway, child. That's why I got stuff to do when I get off of here. Girl, it's the quality over there. Girl, thank you. Yes. You know, Ariel doesn't have good taste. Well, if everybody had good taste, then, you know, everybody would just be elevated. Everybody don't want to be elevated. Some people just want to be of the world. And I have to be okay with that, including your own children. Sometimes, beautiful. Sometimes you have to, like, my children know who I am. They know my past. They know my present. They know how I think. They know my thought processes. They will go with me. Like I do. I'm a human being, and they told me I was the queen of petty. I was like, y'all, I'm not. I'm not. And I was like, dang, am I though? So I have petty moments, and I have to, I talked to them through that. Like, you know what? I wanted to do that, but y'all, I'm a bigger person than that. Not bigger. I'm a better person than that. Let's not do that. We're gonna do this because this. So I'm just saying. All right. So I told you to put a pin in that thought. So yesterday, y'all, I had an interview with a college. They have a PhD program, and some of the courses that I did to get my administrative certification, they have a partnership with that program and their school, so that you don't have to take all of the classes to get your PhD. You only have to take some of the classes. So the cost is less. I don't have to take student loans to pay for it. And it won't take me 5 or 6 years. I will probably finish my PhD in about 3 or 4 years. So by the time I'm 55, I hope that is the gift that I can give myself. I will have a PhD. So I had my interview yesterday. I do think that they're going to accept me. Why wouldn't they? Like, duh. And so classes actually start, they have a summer program. Classes actually start May 8th that I can start. So we'll see if I'm going to start May 8th. Then they have another set that starts June 28th. Those are the summer. Those are really accelerated 7-week classes. And then even if I don't do summer, it's not mandatory. I will start in the fall. So yes, in the fall, I'm not going, I'll know in 2 weeks, they said, if I got accepted into the program, but I will know in 2 weeks if I got accepted into the program. And yes, by this fall or earlier, I will be working on my PhD. So yes, I'm going back, beautiful. It is time. Like, the vision is clear. God said, I have removed all of the obstacles from you. I've even given you some grace, even though you already did all of the classes. You got to do them over because they're not going to accept the classes. But I'm cool with that. Like, I'm not even tripping because I did that. I stopped working on that doctorate back in 2015. So those classes are old. So yes, I don't have a problem redoing classes that I've already done. I'm sure things have changed in a decade with the education that I did then. So to God be the glory. Yes. Yes. Feisty said, yes, you are just like me, low key petty. Child, my kids said I was the queen of, maybe because I'm their only queen, right? Mommy. They was like, you the queen of petty. I was like, I'm not. Oh, wait, let me take this banner down. Why is the banner still up, child? The live has begun. Okay, I'm back. Yes, yes, and yes. Yes, beautiful Shalom. I have some other news I'll share with you once I know more, but I can't share that yet. But I do have, so put a pin in the unknown other news, but some other stuff is happening. And I kind of wrap these last two thoughts that I had written down earlier about having a clear vision. My vision is clear now, or clearer. There were some things happening at work. I have very clear vision about what that is. And I shared this with you all too. I am learning to listen. I always knew how to listen to the kids because close my door, me and my kids talk, we got down. Caring about what adults thought and how they felt it wasn't natural for me. I really didn't care. Like, y'all are so egocentric that I couldn't deal with that. But now that I'm in this position, I have to care. So I knew that going into this position, and I made it intentional that I would definitely care. I don't always get it right with the adults. I probably won't always get it right, but I am intentionally caring and listening. And I'm also taking professional development to help me care more, to listen more, reading these books, being present, like that really helps. I literally had a phone call yesterday with a parent who her purpose was to get um something that was happening changed in the school. I had told her several ways from Sunday why it wasn't going to change. I knew she needed to talk, so I offered to talk. We talked for about 30, 45 minutes yesterday. I told her, I hear you. There was lots of awkward moments of silence. That's another thing that we don't like to do as grown-ups. We don't like the silence. You have to learn to just be silent. Speak in the vernacular of silence. I can hear you. I can empathize with you. And I can still tell you that nothing's going to change. This decision is going to stand. This parent told me, well, I thought I could handle this at the building level. I know. I've already told my boss your concerns. I hear you. The parent cried because, tears usually gets people their way in our world. And it was quiet and it was very uncomfortable. I don't know for how long. I think the next time I'm going to practice, I'm going to time myself to see how long I'm able to just be present. And I was really quiet, y'all. And at the end of the conversation, the parent told me she appreciated that I listened. She was still very frustrated that she wasn't able to change or get me to change a decision, but she really did appreciate that I called her and listened. And sometimes that can be enough. That is one thing about leadership that I'm learning. You have to be willing to stand in your decision. If you are a flip-floppy leader, are you really a leader? I have learned to stand in a decision. Can somebody above me override it? They can. They absolutely have that ability. But I have to be clear. I have to be strong, because once you keep caving to parents, the word will spread and you will never have a moment of peace. You will never make a decision that will be good enough for the masses, because you're not going to make everybody happy. But right? And what we know about society is the loudest voices always get their way, supposedly. I'm learning. Only the loudest voices are going to complain. The quiet ones that are okay with the decision, they're not going to say anything. But that small minority of very loud voices are used to screaming and hollering and getting their way. And when they encounter an energy that is still, that won't reciprocate that energy, that will listen calmly and quietly, they will calm down. It was a beautiful conversation. It was beautiful. Now, will that parent run and go tell on me? Probably. That's okay. I always tell on myself. One thing about me, I'm going to tell on myself before anybody else does. I'm going to tell my boss what I did and why I did it before anybody else does. Because you know how parents get down. I was like that as a classroom teacher. When I was a classroom teacher, child, I would tell my principal all of the things. Like, let me tell you this before, because I already know how this parent get down. Let me tell you what I did. I never had problems in the classroom. You couldn't tell on me. I already told on myself. So, that's it. Those are my 4 little life updates, and life is good. I don't think this heart monitor thing is gonna, return any crazy results, but I'm gonna wear it for these 29 days and be very uncomfortable with this beeper looking thing on my hip. And I got to figure out how to sleep in it so I don't keep taking it apart. But other than that, I'm okay, y'all. Life is good. Blood pressure is low, still working out, still eating healthy, at least during the week. I do give myself space on the weekends to be stupid. Like today, I probably am going to go out here and eat stupid, but moderation, moderation. All right, girl, these damn adults that don't want to elevate can drive you crazy. I have patience. That's how I was. That's how I was. But I'm in a growth stage right now, beautiful. And I have to figure out how to navigate the grown-ups. Delegating responsibility is not for the family. It's not. Everything is going to be just fine. I'm not worried about it at all. Like, really, I'm not. It took me 2 days to put the thing on because I just had to. That's why I didn't put it on. I think I got it Thursday. I got it Thursday night. I could have put it on Thursday night, but because of my work week, I was like, I don't have the mental capacity to read that, to deal with it, to even, I just didn't. So I waited until last night when it was the weekend and I could just, okay, let me get 2 days under my belt of adjusting to having to wear this thing before I start the madness of a work week. So I'll be fine. Thank you. Celebrate your life journey every single day. Every single day. That's what I do. All right. God had given you the provisions, and that's why you are here. He's prepared you and still is, so you can just achieve but maintain. Amen. Thank you. It has been such a journey. In my interview yesterday, I can't remember the exact question, but they basically asked you about your educational journey. Yeah, my educational journey started when I was 13 years old. I was teaching dance classes at 13. That's my, and actually, I could go back further to 5th grade. 5th grade is when my mother, the school, I was in a neighborhood school, and my neighborhood school, I must have tested really highly. I think we used to take the CAT, the California Achievement Test or something like that. And I must have tested really highly on that test. And so my neighborhood, there was a gifted and talented school that was had just started in the city of Detroit. And my neighborhood school suggested that I test to see if I could pass the test to get into this gifted and talented school. So in the 5th grade, in the middle of 5th grade, y'all, I've been at this neighborhood school since probably 1st grade. In the middle of 5th grade, my mama pulled me out the neighborhood school and made me go to this new school. And baby, I was mad. I remember I was so mad at my mother. Oh my goodness. I couldn't believe it. All my friends, I had to leave them in the middle of a school year. How dare she? It was the best thing that ever could have happened to me. That changed the trajectory of my educational experience. From there, I went to a gifted and talented high school. From there, I went to a Black college. Y'all, if your kids want to go to a Black college, let them. A white college is cool if that works for them. But if they want a Black college experience, they got their whole life. The whole universe is centered around whiteness. They got their whole life to deal with whiteness. If they want to go to a Black college, let them go. Don't discourage your kids from wanting to go to a Black college. I see like the that was an experience that you can't get back. Like I can't get that back. To just be centered around all these intelligent Black people at one time, it was a beautiful experience. It is an experience that I'm so glad. And now that all of my loans have been forgiven, I'm so glad that I experienced. Gordo, good morning, Gordo. Hey, how are you? All right, y'all. We 35 minutes into this thing, and I ain't even started my book yet. Beautiful says my baby is 12, and let him go. I went to Hampton University. One of my best friends, her son goes to Howard. I know another one of my babies that I taught dance to goes to Howard. Let him go. If that's what he wants to do, let him go. Let him go. Let him experience it. One of my best friends, her baby that goes to Howard, she was with me at Hampton. She was only there for 1 year just because finances and all of that. And she had to come home and she went to a white university. But she valued just that 1 year of going to a Black college. It really does change your view of the world to see so many intellectually Black people in the same space. Like, it just does. I'm not gonna lie. My sis went to Norfolk, cousin Hampton, uncle took. Don't play with Hampton University. Go Pirates. Oh, you want to go to Clark Atlanta? Mm-hmm. I think, let me tell you why I fell in love with Hampton. As I said, I was trying to get into the book. One of my best friends at the time, she was a year older than me. And my senior year of high school, she was a freshman at Hampton. And I went to Hampton to visit. And I fell in love with the campus. I didn't even look at any other Black colleges. Like, I could have and probably should have. But just because I went to visit her, the home by the sea, the like, it was just, it's beautiful. And when I first, my freshman year at Hampton, it was so weird because culture in Detroit is way different than culture in the South. Walking down the street and talking to people was so weird. Like, people would be like, hello, and I would be like, who are you talking to? Because we don't make eye contact in the city. Like, we won't talk to people in the city. Don't nobody say hi to you. We just walk past, like, child, you don't want to make eye contact because you don't know what's going to go down. But down there, it's like, hello. It's like, oh, hey, oh, hi. So, yeah, that part was just so awkward for me for a couple years. Like, I'm not talking. It was just really off-putting. So one of the things that, like, as I look back and carry forward in the space that I'm in at work now, cultural differences are real. I do some things at work, I'm sure. I work in a primarily white school. It just is what it is. And I am one of very few Black people in the building, let alone I'm the only Black administrator. And they haven't had a Black administrator in decades. So this is weird, right? So I do things culturally that are off-putting to them. They do things culturally that I find weird too. Because I am a in the now moment, I don't judge what they do. They judge me though, child. They judge me. They are some judgy people. I'm trying to get that together. Like, I need y'all to come talk to me before y'all all of these running and talking to each other. Just holler at your girl. Let me explain myself. Like, we different. We don't see the world the same. Give me the opportunity to share with you my why before y'all be running around here talking behind my back. It's gonna come back to me because, like, I'm the coolest cat y'all ever met. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm a cool administrator. Y'all got to get out y'all feelings though. I love y'all. And I do, y'all. I love them. Broken and all. I love the people because we are all broken human beings in some way, shape, or form. I don't think I'm better than anybody. I got so much more to learn, so much more to do. Every day that I wake up, there's something new that I learn, and I love it. Sowing good seeds. Yay. All right. Wanting to make eye child. Right. You don't make eye contact out here in these streets. I'm not walking. Listen, I was at a stoplight yesterday on my way home from work. And because I still live in Detroit, I still live in the hood. It is what it is. My house, I work in a suburban area. My house is way better than some of them houses out there. I ain't gonna even I'm keeping 100 with you. Now, am I about to move? I am, because I want to live near some water. But that's a whole nother story. I'm ready. But I pull up off the freeway, child. It was a guy on a motorcycle next to me. Now, if you like, I'm a dancer, so my peripheral vision, it's 100. I can see all of this around me and ignore all of the things, but still see them. I was like that in my classroom. Kids could be doing something back there, and I would be like, sit down. How she know? She wasn't even looking. Because my spidey senses are on point. So this man pulls up on a motorcycle and my music is up. So I got my ignore things already in place. My music is up. I'm chilling, leaned over, because I got a new car too. So, flossing, windows down, roof open. And he like, hey. I kept my eyes forward and acted like I didn't hear him. Yeah, I heard that man. I heard him. And then he was in a non-turning lane. He had the nerve to cut in front of me, turn left. I was about to turn left. I just let him have it. You know what, brother? Go ahead and have it. I see, like, I heard you. Now you want to make sure I see you. Gentlemen, don't do performative attention getting like that. The ladies can hear you. The ladies can see you. The ladies are ignoring you. Leave them alone. Just leave them alone. They're not bothering you, right? They're not bothering you. Leave the ladies alone. They don't want to be bothered with you. And that's okay. Let that be enough. I have a lot of cultural competency training and have taken many cultural psych classes at the advanced level, securing my degree. Let me tell you something. Beautiful. One thing about education, there are a lot of highly educated people, adults that are working with children who take these type of trainings, stuff that I've taken, but they don't live it. They love to tell you about what they've done. They've done social justice work. They've done equity work. But when I look at you, like, if you've done this stuff, I should see it. I should see it in your lived experience. I should see it every day that we come into contact with each other. If you've done that type of training, why don't I see it in your work every single day? There are a lot of people who take trainings. Now, I'm just learning this because I'm forced to work with adults now. There are a lot of people who take trainings. The way that I do trainings is the stuff that I find valuable, I implement, I grow from it. All of the stuff is not relevant for me. There are some things, some trainings are just trash. They're not all good, but some have changed the way I look at children. Some have changed the way I look at adults. I'm doing some stuff now. Some have changed the way I teach. There are adult learners who do work in professional development courses just for the sake of doing the work, but don't implement it in their daily life. Like, this work doesn't just happen at your job. When you are an educator, that work also transfers into who you are as a human being. And if that connection isn't made, I don't trust that you really got it when you took the training. So just because your resume says you did A, B, C, and D doesn't mean that you live it. Doesn't mean that you use those tools on a daily basis. You have to practice that work. It just doesn't happen for you. You have to be consciously aware of doing that work and do it every day. If you don't take it and put intentionality behind it, you just sat through a class and got credit. And that's it. I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. So I'm starting to look at stuff like that with adults. And especially as like job openings, we got to start interviewing. I'm working summer school. We've been interviewing for summer school. There's different questions that I'm learning to ask because I care just like the interview I had. Who are you as a human being? I know what your resume say, girl. I know you said you did all this stuff, but talk to me. What have you implemented? What do you do differently because of that training? That's what I want to know. What are you doing differently? What light bulb moment came on for you that changed how you interact with children? That changed how you see children? That's what I want to know at this point in my career. Beautiful says, it has helped how I show up to a conversation and having grace. Oh, for sure. That's why I was able to have that very awkwardly silent conversation yesterday with that parent. Beautiful. It's intense for my program and to even sit for the level of license that I want. We have to have these hours in the field applying the mechanisms. I don't even know what you're agreeing with, child. I've been talking. Remember, we talking about the hospitals and how doctors, nurses. Oh, that's even a different story. I told you how I think you saw the video where I spazzed out on a nurse. I felt bad after the fact, and I apologized to the universe because I couldn't apologize to her. Child. She didn't have any cultural competency, though. She didn't know what energy she was encountering, though. Doctors and nurses absolutely need to do better. Because the doctor, like, that's why this doctor, as he talks me through, like, your echo looks good, you're eating right. Da, da, da. He didn't just brush that off, though. He was like, but you know what? Since these things have been happening to you, I want to make sure. I want to dot I's and cross T's just so that you're sure. Do you want to do this? And I was like, absolutely. I want to do all the things. I remember when I was a child, and I might not even get into this book today. I might just sit here and have a conversation because Beautiful won't stop chatting with me. I remember this. I was pregnant with my son. My son was diagnosed with something called esophageal atresia at 18 weeks. 18 weeks is when you get the ultrasound to tell you if it's a girl or a boy. And that ultrasound was really awkward because the tech stopped. And I had already had my daughter. So I was like, what's up? They told me it was a boy. Yay, screamed happy. Then the tech stopped. Just stopped. I was like, what's wrong, girl? So the tech was like, I'm gonna go get the doctor. So now I'm just like, oh Lord Jesus. Like, something's wrong. You done told this 18-week-old pregnant lady that something's wrong with her son that she wants. Like, I knew I was going to have a son with my husband. I knew it. The universe had told me that. I knew I was going to have a boy by this guy when I met him. I knew I was going to have his son. So anyway, you stop, go get the doctor. The doctor comes in. Y'all, beautiful, Foxy. Worst case scenario. They need some competency. He told me all of the negative things. He told me I should have an abortion. Sitting there with a very controlling, very unaware man, my husband, who all my husband heard was the negative, negative, negative. Now me, I'm still in my early 30s. I hear the stuff and I don't understand like what I know now about how the universe made me. I still had awareness. I just wasn't conscious of my awareness. So the doctor is telling me all the negative things of life. And I'm just sitting there like, he's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. Well, you should think about having an abortion. He's going to be fine. Drove my husband fucking crazy. My husband is like, but the doctor said, and the doctor said this, and the doctor said that. And I'm calm. He's going to be fine. That drove a wedge between me and my, it was some other stuff driving wedges between me and my husband that I was unaware of at the time. That's a whole nother video. But that specific thing was something that he could hang his hat on. That I was not listening to the doctor. I knew something was wrong with our son and I should have had an abortion. And I refused. I did. I refused. Because God told me. Like, I was confident. God told me he's going to be fine. Flat out. And that the end of my pregnancy was terrible. My husband treated me terribly. The doctors kept coming back with terrible, worser news about my son's condition. And I had to just be still, y'all. I didn't even understand being in the now, but I was literally living in the now. I refused to live in the future. I refused to listen to what they said to me. I just refused. So I guess I've always been like a hard head. Always, probably my whole life. I just refused. I was like, he's going to be fine. Like, I can't hear this voice telling me he's going to be fine. I don't care about what y'all human beings saying. I got this thing in my head, this voice, literally. He's going to be fine. Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, let me go through the comments and then I'll finish. But their culture harm in the helping field is non-existent, especially since the pandemic. Yeah, so I'm going to finish the story and we're going to get to, they need to get that together because this was before the pandemic, though. Beautiful. This was back in, my son was born in what year is this, child? 2023. He was born in 2005. They didn't have it back then. I can't imagine what it was like before then. Because, they really think Black women are just, we don't have no conditions, symptoms. We just role warriors. Like we could take all the pain. Our pain don't matter or nothing. So they even that part they treat us differently. Listen. Thank you, beautiful. I appreciate that. Foxy, like, let's talk. That's what I guess that's what this gonna be, because I'm not about to sit here for another 2 hours and read this chapter, even though this is a good chapter. All of Eckhart's chapters are good. The core of ego. We need to talk about that. If I have the bandwidth, I guess I'm gonna have to come back tomorrow, because I can already tell y'all I'm not gonna get into the book today. Okay, so anyway, let me finish the story. So fast forward. That was the first one. Oh, Foxy. So Foxy been with me, y'all, through all of this marriage, pregnancy, my son being born journey. So when Foxy says that was the first one with him, he has my husband, ex-husband, has a myriad of kids. Facts. He has a myriad of kids. And for his wife, because he didn't marry anybody but me, for his wife, like he chose to marry me. Like I should have been honored with that alone. Like he's had all these other women, but he chose me. Touche. I chose you too. And I ain't married nobody since. But for something to be wrong with this one, that was my fault too, y'all. Can you imagine? Your husband is listening to everything that the doctor says. He believes you should have had an abortion. And now he gets to add on, I got all these other kids. Ain't nothing wrong with them. So if something is wrong with this one, it's your fault. That was a lot. Like I had to handle a lot of weight. Looking back, like now I have like it was nothing but God that carried me through that. And when my baby was born, all of the stuff, it was horrible. It was horrible. I broke down many a day. I broke down, and I had to keep my energy. I couldn't absorb that energy, because I knew I had to be as positive and as hopeful for this baby to be fine. He's going to be fine. Remember, that was the voice in my head. He's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. I had to hold on to that voice. So having to deal with the reality that I was living of all this negativity coming at me, and only this inner voice of he's going to be fine that nobody else can hear, right? Like, and I'm sure some of my friends at the time just like, you know how she is. She going to do what she going to do. Let's just support the crazy lady, because she don't listen to nobody. That's true. And so because of friends like Foxy, because of some of my very best friends, they supported the madness. Because when I tell you my ex-husband ziggity boomed, it was terrible. And I could not absorb it. I just couldn't. And my friends just wrapped me in love. They wrapped me, they listened to me, they supported me, they were there for me. And one of my besties at the time, this is really weird, y'all. Me and one of my besties have 2 kids. They're the same age. So we was doing the thing, making babies at the same time. So she pregnant too. So I can't put too much of this energy in her space, because she got her own baby. She got to, keep safe mentally and physically and spiritually in her womb. So y'all, it was just so much. Oh, Foxy, I forgot about that. Oh, y'all. Okay, this is another one, beautiful, that's about to take you out. This one is about to take you out, because I couldn't wrap my mind around this dumb shit right here. Okay, wait, let me go. Yep, I had to. Yep, y'all did. Y'all wrapped me in so much love. That's what got me through. This one right here, though, beautiful. Listen to this. So, when you get close to the end, they came out with that 3D ultrasound. We did a 3D ultrasound. The 3D ultrasound, and this was probably when 3D ultrasounds were very new. So I'm sure they are much clearer now than they were back in 2004, 2005. The 3D ultrasound, he really thought there was an alien growing inside of my stomach. He couldn't see the vision. He couldn't see He couldn't see. He didn't have a clear vision. He was still stuck in all of the stuff the doctors are saying to him. And now he sees this weird looking 3D picture that he is taking at face value. Like he sees the 3D image like it's a real human being that is on the outside. He could not move past this 3D image. Like he was mad. His anger, I can't explain to you how his anger just is the toxicity of who he is when he's angry, but it's venomous. He did some venomous things when we got divorced. My ex-husband went through my friends like Foxy and tried to get them to unfriend me, y'all, in real life. I've never seen anything like this man. I've never seen any energy like him in my life. And part of like, I know that energy is probably, it resides in my son. And I try to, balance that. And it's difficult. I had to forgive my ex-husband a long time ago. That was the only way I could raise my son in love. One thing that I don't understand about women who parent kids and they hate their exes, how do you love and nurture a child when you have hatred for the person that helped you to create that child? I had to do a lot of work because I was in the hate phase. I can't lie about it. I did. I had hate. I did a lot of work on myself. Unbeknownst, it was mindful work to not hate that man. I don't hate him to this day. I still love him. Actually, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have my boogaloo. So I love him for that. He don't like me though. Y'all should see. It would just be a sight to behold. Especially like now we got to be in the same space because my son about to graduate. When he gets around me, he's just so uncomfortable. His energy shifts so hard. And I just be sitting so peaceful. I just be like, baby, let it go. It's okay. You can still love me just like I still love you. And we can know that we'll never be together. And that's okay. We made this beautiful creature, this beautiful little boy. That's enough for me. It should be enough for you too. It's not, child. He be trying to turn my son against me to this day. I don't even worry about it. I don't even ask my son what he be saying. Like, God bless him. Boogaloo, you know who I am. You see me every day. I raised you. You know, if you got a question, you can come to me. I can't change the past. I can't change any mistakes that I made. I can't fix how I parented you. I can only parent you from a place of who I was at that time. I am not the same person that was married to your father. I am a very different version of myself. He thinks that I'm still that same version. And God bless him. But I'm not. And you know that I'm not. So that's all I got. I can't apologize for who I was. I can only be a better version of myself every single day now that I am clearly aware of who I am as a human being in this earthly space. That's it. That's all. That's all I got. Oh girl, yeah, that 3D picture took him out. But yes, we have to, women, I'm speaking clearly to women, especially younger women. When your relationship does not work out with this man that you thought you were going, excuse me, excuse me, when you thought you were going to be with forever, please do the work to forgive yourself for being with him, because that's what I had to do. I wanted this man. I can't deny it. I wanted him for 8 years before I married him. Through all of the foolishness and all of the ghosting that he did to me, I wanted that man. I'm going to stand in that truth. I had to forgive myself for that because I just didn't know any better. I didn't know what type of man I was supposed to be with. I just knew what I liked. I liked men who had verbal game. I was always an intellectual. It was pointed out to me when I was in the 5th grade. I was smart, right? My ex-husband didn't have book knowledge, but he had street knowledge. And that shit was attractive to me. And it still is. I ain't gonna lie. It still is. I like a man that can talk about the streets. I can't be with a full-fledged nerd. I have a lot of book knowledge, but I got a lot of hood in me. Girl, I'm just not either of those things. I am made up of a lot of things. Like, there's a lot of things that reside in me. I have peace, but I also am petty. I have knowledge, but I also am ghetto. I stand in it all. I do. And I had a really good friend who her husband, she's still married, he was in the streets and he changed, right? Women, when we get with men, we think they're going to change. Men, when they get with women, they don't think they're going to change. And as you grow in age together, both of y'all see clearly, oh, lady, you changing too much. Oh, man, you didn't change enough. You will either stay together and grow and have great communication through that clarity that you will gain, or you will grow apart and get a divorce. I even had to forgive myself for a divorce. I grew up in a church. How dare you get a divorce? Till death do you part, is what those vows said. I believe that. I just recently, within the last decade, became unchurched and stopped dealing with those dictates of that man created. Religion is man-made. We can have a whole discussion about that. I'm not going to do that today. But yeah, so I had to, women, you got to forgive yourself first, is what I want to say. Forgive yourself for all of the things first. Forgive yourself. And then once you are able to forgive yourself, forgive him. Because just like you can't be anything other than who you were in that time, that man can't either. Just like I've grown and evolved and have been able to forgive and move on, I don't forget. That's why I'm able to tell you this story. That whole forgive and forget, that's bullshit. We don't forget. Girl, we are like elephants. We have long memories. Don't get it twisted. You can forgive and move forward, though, for sure. Men, like I said about marriage, men want women to stay the same. Women want men to change. And we learned that is not a universal language that we all come to agreement on. Some men, including my ex-husband, stay stuck. I don't think he's let me turn into this almost 51-year-old version of myself. He's still stuck at the 24-year-old version of me that he met and the 31-year-old version of me that he married. He does not know this 51-year-old version of me because he won't forgive himself and he won't forgive me. And because of that, I feel bad for him because he's stuck. And that's got to be a very miserable place to be as a human being, to be stuck in so much pain and unforgiveness. I don't know what that feels like, though. I don't. All right, let me do some in the chat because y'all is just in here talking. Yes, once you forgive him, we had to as well. Yeah, like he tried to stop us from being friends. Like, who does that? I didn't bother any of his family. I didn't bother any of his friends when we divorced. I let the ties be severed. Man, he had a whole campaign out against your girl. He made sure he called my friends, told them anything he thought I said negatively about them, made up stuff that I didn't say about them. Man, that man was on a campaign to bring me down. And now the only thing that he can use is my son, our son, our son. That's it. That's all he's gotten. And now that our son is grown, he thinks he's grown. He's not grown. 18 is not grown. You still young, dumb, and full of cum. Now that he's on the other side of what legal age is, he can see clearer, I think, which is why I'm glad. Even though it was really rough for the last 4 or 5 years when my husband decided to come back, or ex-husband decided to come back into his life, it was hard, y'all. It was hard to just be quiet and let this man tear me down and not defend myself. But now that my son is maturing and he's seeing clearer, he sees it. He does. He tells me every now and then, like, Ma, I think something's wrong with him. Yeah, I know it is. um, you repost. Oh, thank you. No weapon form. Articulate child. Don't play with me about a thug. I love me a thug. And I tried to like when I date, I try not to want to date thugs because I'm still traumatized by the situation, even though I've forgiven and moved on. It's still very traumatic. I had a very traumatic life experience dealing with all of that, but I can't like I like it still. So yeah, um, embrace your entire yes, all of the things. My man went from the streets and now he's inching closer towards God. Amen. I've seen it happen, beautiful. I have friends who it worked for. Like it worked for their relationship, but they did go through some things and it took their man a while to get there. My husband just never was going to try. He just wouldn't stop. He wouldn't be honest. He wouldn't have honest conversations with me. And it was never going to change. He wanted me to accept it. And I couldn't. Like I need to see something. Like I can forgive you for the past, like, and we can move forward, but I need clear understanding of what moving forward looks like. And we would come to a clear understanding and then he would just revert. He just and now that we haven't been together since 2007, he hasn't changed. He still is mad at me. He still is very angry with me. Sorry. I don't know what to tell you, dude, but I moved on. I'm sorry that you haven't. We be in Bible study together. Oh, now that's good. That's good. He's in this process of inviting God into his decisions. That's good. Not just his prayers. Amen. That means he has to slow down. And anytime you need to hear from God, you can't think it's going to happen right then. So that's really good. He has to slow down. And that's what a lot of our thug like relationships, they like to move, 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 move. And they don't think about like the trauma that they leave behind their moves. So that's a blessing. That's really good. I'd rather have a relationship with God than be in religion. Oh, for sure. That's where I got to. The religion part of this life, mm, as a social studies teacher, as a 7th grade social studies teacher, that's when I got my awakening about religion. I'll tell you in a second. Let me take a sip. 7th grade social studies is about world religions. And when I taught 7th grade social studies, I was also over a program called Religious Diversity Journeys. And we would go visit different temples, different synagogues, different mosques, different churches. And when you have the experience of visiting other ways and seeing how other people worship, it has to open your eyes that your religion is really only based on your location. Yeah. It's based on your location and it's based on your culture. It is something that is man-made. The Bible is not about religion. The Bible is about a historical perspective of what has happened with God and how he has moved through this timeline of earthliness, of beingness. It's not about a specific religion. It's not about Christianity. It's not about anything other than God, Jesus, the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost. That's what it's about. And once my eyes were opened, and I was like, so you mean to tell me I can worship this way? And it doesn't mean that you can't tell me that all the people in China are going to hell because they worship differently. You can't tell me that all the people on this continent are going to hell because they're not Christians. Every religion is very different, but it's the same. Very different, but yet the same. And it is that connectedness. It is the oneness of God that is the center. It is the oneness of the universe, whatever you want to call it. It is the oneness of being that is the center of it all. And once we can take all of these false facades where if you don't worship like I do, and if you don't practice like I do, and if you don't sit inside of a church like I do, you're going to hell. Who are you as a human being to damn anybody to hell? I didn't know you had it going on like that with the creator. What? That's what we be doing out here, y'all. We be damning people to hell. Stop it. Stop it. Let people be. Everybody is here in this space, in this time, either collectively together, or you will see a video. You will get some acknowledgement. You will get some enlightenment. But everything is happening the way the universe has planned it. If there were not meant to be different religions, different views, different perspectives of how to get to God, they wouldn't exist. Full stop. If it wasn't meant to be, it wouldn't be. If Christianity was the end all to be all, it would be all. And that's uncomfortable, right? Because, child, the pitchforks is probably going to come out at your girl. How dare you say that? I'm saying it and I mean it. It's not for everybody. Get there how you get there. There is no straight path. It is a winding road. There will be trials. There will be tribulations. You will be tested. You cannot have a diamond without going through fire. You cannot have it if it has not been tested. Who are you? You got to be tested in order to rise, in order to elevate. Everybody not going to get there the same way. And everybody not going to get there at the same time. Consciousness is not about how old you are. I had semi-consciousness when I was younger. That's why I was able to protect my seed and be positive. But I didn't have full consciousness until I made sure it was a central focus. And that's just been recently, within the past 2 to 3 years. You can have semi-consciousness. You can have awareness of this world and still be lost. But if you stay focused, if you tap into your inner God, it is inside of all of us. I am that I am. That's real. Godness is inside of you. That's where you start. It's not inside of a preacher. That is a man. That is a creature. It's not inside of your favorite gospel artist. That too is a creature. Windows security. Child, don't nobody care about you. Do not let creatures that breathe the same air, that use the toilet just like you, that put on pants and shirts and clothes just like you, damn you to hell. Do not let them define God for you. A preacher is equitable to a teacher. Just like you go to school to learn, you go to a institution, a religious institution to learn. Some people need to learn for a lifetime. Some people get the learning in unchurched, which is what I did. And then they tap into their inner. They seek out other resources like a new earth. I am always learning. I am always going to grow. I am intellectually curious, and learning is my superpower. I didn't know it before. I'm clear on it now, especially since my loans are forgiven. So, let me do the comments. That's different for a man to try to tear down the friendships after it's over. I know, right? Let me tell you what that's called. That's called bitch shit. He was being bitch. He was in his bitchy femininity mode when he was doing that. And he still gets there with my son. Like, why would you try to tear down your son's mother and her entire family? Still, this man still tries to verbally crucify me and get in my son's head and tries to verbally crucify my family, who is the only family that helped to raise him. Still, this man almost 60 years old. Right? What is that about? Now, I'm going to keep it 100. I do talk shit to my friends about him. They're my friends, though. I've never talked stuff after the divorce. I've never even reached out to his mother or his sisters or any of his millions of kids. Why would I do that? Y'all live y'all best life over there. I need to raise kids over here. I need to work over here. I need to be a better version of myself over here. I'm not putting that negative, because one thing about that type of toxic energy, when you try to tear other people down, please believe that is reciprocal energy. That reciprocal energy is coming for you. You're not sleeping good at night. You're not in a good place mentally, spiritually, physically. You falling apart. I saw him in person one day. I was like, oh, you got that little beer belly happening now, huh? I didn't say it out loud. I said it in my head, but I'm still petty. I'm okay with that. So anyway, all right. Yes, very bitter. Still, though, yo, the baby is 18 years old. What is you bitter about now? I ain't did nothing to you but raised your son without your help. You should look at this beautiful young man and be like, you know what? You did good, girl. You did good. You know, I tried to make it as hard for you as I could out here, but you did your thing with him. He all right. But I'm gonna tell you what it is. You want to know what it really is? He looks too much like me. Can you imagine hating somebody and a version of you that you created looks like the person that you hate? I had to forgive that man. My son looks like that man too. I see him in my son. I could not hate him and raise my son. That would be like, what? I see a version of this man and I got to love it, but I got to hate him. Make that make sense. That just don't make sense. Ladies, stop doing that to your children. They feed and feel that energy when you do that to them. Don't be like that. Forgive yourself. Forgive that man and love your children for who they are. And that's it. That's what you give them. You give them the space to be who they are. You can't control that other energy that is also inside of them that you know you was attracted to, and that might come out in that child one day, because it's going to. Peace be still and love that baby. Acknowledge, I see your daddy in you. To yourself, I love you. I love you. I forgive him. I love you. Let me help you get through this, because I know what's about to happen right now. I know that energy. I lived with that energy. I married that energy. I divorced that energy. Come on now. Focus. I need you to focus. I need you to refocus. That's hard. Yeah, that's hard. Young ladies, do it. Do that work. Your kids deserve for you to do that work and to forgive that man and raise them best you can. You are explaining so eloquently. I don't even hear preachers and pastors explain this. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you. Beautiful. I appreciate that. Foxy, you laughing at my petty with that beer belly. He had a hat on. I want to see his hair. I want to see if his hair is receding yet. Graduation is coming up soon, y'all. I'll let y'all know. I give y'all a hair update, but the beer belly is real. I'll let y'all know about the hair. I'll let y'all know about the hair one day. If I can see him without his hat on, I'll tell you about his hairline. That's not funny. Gentlemen who have receding hairlines, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm just saying, I can be petty about this because this man be trying to still tear me down to this day. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? He do. So let me get it out how I get it out. And this is it. I just got it out. All right, y'all. I'm about to go. It's been an hour and 20 minutes, and I got somewhere to be at 9 o'clock. So I'm gonna change the title and the description of the video, and we'll see how this works out tomorrow. Beautiful, Foxy. If I see y'all tomorrow, I need y'all to let me read the book. We got to get to the ego. This is a good chapter, y'all. The core of ego. That's one of the things that we got to work on. Silencing your ego. Our ego wants to interrupt conversations. Our ego wants us to focus on how things affect us personally. Our ego will not let us grow if we don't learn to peace be still it. And that's hard. So, God willing, I'll be here tomorrow morning, very early in the morning. Don't know what time. Um, the last time I came live, it was after I had ran errands, and I was struggling to get through the chapter because my ADHD be kicking in. So tomorrow, if I am able to come live, if I have the energy, I will read The Core of Ego. And yeah, I thank you all for being here. I will change the title and the description very shortly because this was just a conversation. I don't even know what to name it. Yeah. Okay, wait. Before you go, what do I name this? A conversation about life? Life update? I don't even know what to name this thing today. I don't know. I love you all. I appreciate you for being here. One of I always share this. Please forgive the profanity in it, but I'm going to play it anyway. One of the content creators, his homegoing will be coming up soon in Las Vegas. It's a gentleman by the name of Philip Brandon Gilmore. On YouTube, he's known as Sinful the P. He's one of those personalities that I was attracted to on YouTube. Not like attracted to, but like I enjoyed listening to his content about life. He mixed spirituality with carnality and gave some really good lessons about life. If you are very like upright and churchy, I don't suggest that you go over there and listen to his content because it is not for the faint of heart. But he taught me a lot. I like to listen to how men think. I like to listen to men talk. My daddy used to own a barbershop, and I just used to sit around and listen to men talk in a barbershop. So I really do enjoy listening to men have conversations just about life in general. So he's one of the content creators that I really, really liked. He did pass away in 2022 at the end of last year. And this clip is something that I will typically play at the very beginning or the very end of videos. And it's just about sacrifice. And one thing about your ego, when you are able to still and quiet your ego, that's a sacrifice that you have to make for yourself because it can't be about you anymore. One of the acronyms for ego, easing God out, is true. You can't be in touch with God when you are led by your ego. You have to sacrifice. If you want to be still, sacrifice your voice. If you want to hear people, sacrifice responding. Stop listening to respond. Listen to hear. Listen to hear. You can hear people and not have a response. You can hear people and be quiet and just absorb what they say to you. Sacrifice. I love you all. I appreciate you for being here. And I will see you hopefully tomorrow morning so we can get through this chapter that we didn't even start today. I enjoyed the conversation though. I love y'all. Thank you so much. I will see you all tomorrow, God willing. If not, I'll see you next weekend, God willing.
Instagram. You're seeing all the A's on the report card. You didn't see the sacrifices that was made. Remember when Sin told you that the price of success is sacrifice. You cannot escape sacrifice. From spirituality to carnality, sacrifice is a necessity. You're going to have to sacrifice. You want that bitch? Sacrifice. Want that mansion? Sacrifice. You want them cars? Sacrifice. You want that jewelry? Sacrifice. You want that clout? Sacrifice. You want that body? Sacrifice. Even in God, you want that anointing? Sacrifice. You want to preach like that? Sacrifice. You want to be knowledgeable like that? Sacrifice. Whatever life you live, You cannot escape sacrifice.